Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me and Steve on these Premier League predictions as we predict one player for you to watch this season in the Premier League. It could be a goal scorer, it could be an assist maker, it could be a rock at the back, a keeper keeping them out, or even an unsung hero you can't do without. Steve, easy peasy. One player from each team, including very own AFC Bournemouth.
Yeah, we're going to save them for last, though, aren't we? We're going to rattle through the rest of them and save the best for last, obviously.
This video is sponsored by Aquashine Exteriors, professional jet washing and cleaning services across Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole. Please do check them out. Details in the description, including their website, Instagram and a phone number for you to get a free quotation. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and of course, we want to get your thoughts below, your predictions as well as your thoughts on our predictions as well. We've randomised all the football clubs, we've split them. We're both going to have a go at Bournemouth, but we split the other teams just so this video doesn't go on for hours and hours. We're getting straight into it then, Steve, and the first team on the list is you with Brentford.
Yes, it is, and this guy is a midfielder. Christian Norgard is the one I've gone for here. He's the guy who I feel in their team, he makes it all tick. He's the one that when they're doing their high press like they like to do, he's the one who's anticipating the balls he's going to intercept and get the attack going again. So I think you take him out of their team, and that's a fundamental loss for me. Really good on the ball, likes a nice pass. He's a Danish international, of course. Shame they've just lost another Danish international, which is a huge miss for them. There were some notable shouts out for Brentford. Keane Lewis Potter, but again, I don't know how many, if he's going to play, but he's a talent for them. But Christian Norgard's the one for me on that.
I believe he picked up lots of awards last season for Brentford.
He did, yeah.
Straight in there for Brentford. Right, the first team I've got is Leicester City. I'm going for a player. He's got talent. He's got technique. It's James Maddison, 25 years old, played 35 games, 12 goals, 8 assists last season. And is there any chance he can get into this England team? Because if he does up his game and Leicester do need goals, can they reach the heights that they did before? They're going to need James Maddison to turn up for them. And this is a player that may look for a big move at some point in his career. So a real important time in his career, Steve, for James Maddison. And Leicester City are going to need him. That's Leicester City, James Maddison. Next team on the list for you, Steve, big one, this one, is Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea.
Yeah, turbulent times at the bridge, isn't it? And this was a hard one, actually, because there's a lot of players allegedly wanting away. But I've gone for Ben Chilwell on this, someone who they didn't have at their disposal much last season. And I think that really, really affected their progress, really, because Tuchel likes to play with a back three. He likes to emphasise the use of his wing backs. And Ben Chilwell, I mean, there's not many better than him at doing that. I mean, I looked at some of his stats earlier, and I mean, his crosses he gets in during games. I mean, he's played something like, I mean, over his Premier League career, it's something like 500 odd crosses. And that's a great stat. All they need is someone in the box, which they don't seem to have. But yeah, Ben Chilwell was good at Leicester. Hopefully he can kick on and be the same at Chelsea, and obviously England as well would be great for the World Cup.
Wonder how many of these players will be picking that will be working towards November and a World Cup in Qatar. Next team, interesting team, is Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira took over last season. What would we expect to see from a Crystal Palace side? He did pretty well, actually. And I'm looking at a player that's going to help them try and keep clean sheets because they've got talent up top. Sam Johnson, he's decided to move away from West Brom. A troubled year, maybe it was. It wasn't a great year for Sam Johnson personally, I don't think. But he's going to Crystal Palace. I think Gaeta is 35 now. Jack Butland's always hit and miss, and Sam Johnson could quite easily pick up this number one spot. And if he keeps the ball out the back of the net, Crystal Palace can rely on those attacking players up top to score goals. So I am going for a goalkeeper in this pick, and that is Sam Johnson. Next team, another team that's going to be looking to try and get high up in the table. They might have a bit of European football, and that's West Ham, Steve, for you.
Yeah, and if they're going to do that, then this was an easy one for me, because the guy, it's obvious, isn't it, Declan Rice, but he is the driving force behind this current West Ham side, and it's no it doesn't take an idiot to work out why on earth, the likes of some of these big clubs are coming in with big money, sort of transfer offers for him. He's burst onto the scene. He's come under the tutelage of Mark Noble, who's just retired. So he is their main man now. Great player, can break up play, can drive forward, can pass the ball. He's good in the air. I mean, I always remember that game they had an FA Cup game early rounds last season where it's against the only remaining non-league side and they were struggling. And then, it was almost like Declan just went, you know what, lads, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it. And then he just burst into the box and created a goal.
I think he
and
came
hopefully
mention that game as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And then, I mean, that's the sort of thing I hope England can capitalise on as well, because he's there's going to be big things for him. I mean, take him out of that West Ham. So I know they've got a goal scorer now, and when we chatted about this earlier, I can't remember. He's Italian, and he's supposed to be highly rated. But I think you got to do well to look past Declan Rice for West Ham. Really,
how many more years will West Ham keep Declan Rice? Right.
Got to do well to keep him. That's the thing. Got to get up there.
For West Ham, it's Declan Rice. Back to me for Aston Villa. And Jack Grealish vacated. He went to the Eastlands and he went and won a Premier League title with Man City. And who could Aston Villa fans look to give them some hope? And a young player that came in last season, only 21 years old, played over 34 games, 6 goals, 1 assist. I really like this player, Jacob Ramsey. And what a way for a player to learn and grow under a management of Steven Gerrard. I'm really looking at this player, Steve, as someone that could help Aston Villa. I'm not an Aston Villa fan, but looking at him, I think he's an England player as well. I hope I'm right. I've not looked at the nationality there, but I'm comfortable he's England. And what a player that could grow. And almost Jack Grealish could go straight into the shadows before you know it.
I know. I mean, he literally did burst on the scene last season. And a couple of his goals where it was a bit Jay-Z-esque. When Jay-Z's done those ones where he's run past about 3 players and just gone, you think he's going to pass it. And no, he's so brave on the ball and he's confident in himself, which I like. I mean, I don't think we see enough of that, especially in modern day football. It's too much pass. I like to see that, a player with a bit of confidence go and just grab, this is my game. I'm going to put my mark down. I think he did that for Villa last season. Massive talent. Yeah, massive talent.
I'm picking Jacob Ramsey as a player to watch for Aston Villa this season. Back to you, Steve. Now, they did okay last season. They've cemented themselves as a Premier League side. Brighton, who are you going for in this club?
Yeah, another easy one for me, this one. I think, unfortunately, they're going to lose Cucurella, but the one I'm going for is Leandro Trossard. He, to me, is the most. He creates quite a lot. I think he got 8 goals, 3 assists last season. He's only a slight player. He's little guy, but he gets in between the lines really well. I think he's sort of playing in a more of a 10 role, and he just creates stuff. And I think for a side like Brighton, who they need a player like that. I think they sort of have him and Mopé sort of off of Welbeck, or did with last season. But I thought he was excellent at times. But he's got bags of skill. He can pick a pass. He can his movement's great as well. So that's the one I'm going for Brighton. I think he's fundamental to them to be successful.
My type of player as well. Really like it. Right. Spurs, Antonio Conte seems to have a plan. Is he going to go for top 4 or maybe more? I'm going for again. We did a Premier League prediction with Marc Davies a few weeks ago and I picked this player. I've got to do it again. It's Harry Kane. He lost his golden boot to Son and he lost his golden boot to Mohamed Salah. But he's going into a World Cup. He's going to want to get that golden boot back. And as I said, 29 years of age now, Harry Kane. Is there an opportunity to play for Champions League medals and Premier League medals? I think he's going to smash it this year. I think he's going to hit the ground running. He's always been criticised, Steve, as a player that's maybe not hit the ground running, but he generally hits.
That's why he's not in my team for the Fantasy Premier League.
He generally hits over 20 goals. So he missed out just about with 17 last season, but straight in there again. Got to do it again.
Yeah, it's that thing, isn't it? It's weird how he's got this weird thing where he can't score. Well, I know he did. I think he did last season actually, but he doesn't score very many. For years and years and years, he didn't score in August, I think it was. But what a great striker he is. He needs to win something there, really. I mean, I think he'll look back on his career if he doesn't, with a little bit of regret. I hope not, because he's a good enough player to light up a cup or a Champions League or even an international tournament. yeah, fingers crossed. And he's massive for them. You take him out of that team, and there's not a lot of other options goal wise. I know Son won Golden Boot, but really, it's more than that, isn't it? He's a little bit Dom Solanke-esque, whether he drops very deep. So it's a lot of link up play, and the rest great in the air. Great player.
Harry Kane for me for Spurs, and we go back to you for the champions of the Premier League last season. This could not be easy. Manchester City.
I actually thought it was, and I've gone for their big money signing in Erling Haaland. Yeah, I mean that's a big thing. They were good without a striker, and now they've got a proper striker. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, this is going to be scary for the rest of us. Yeah, and we've got him on. We've got him on his home debut. So I'm thinking, oh god. But I mean, I looked at his previous records in Germany, and he's almost a goal a game. I mean, that's just scary stats. Even when he was at Salzburg, it was, I think he scored 16 and 17 or something like that, 16 and 17 appearances. And for Dortmund, it's 62 and 67. That's scary. And I know people might say, well, the Bundesliga is not quite as good as Premier League, but that guy's look at the quality he's got feeding him. It's just a scary prospect in my eyes, and I can't look past that. There was the Alvarez one that they've got. I think he did well in South America last season. He loaned him back to his to the club they got him off. But Haaland is a scary prospect. Not looking forward to that way.
Definitely not. Steve's gone for Erling Haaland, and let's hope we can keep him out in game week 2. Right, a couple of sides that are going to be interesting. The unknown, really. What will they actually do in the Premier League? And I've got Wolves. Not sure about this one. I'm hearing Raul Jimenez is injured already in pre-season. He could be a sort of an obvious choice. Adama Traore, I think he's still at the club. I think he's come back from Barcelona. Steve very much would like him at Bournemouth.
I'd love to have him.
£1 million. But it's not Traore. I'm going for this player, Steve. I think you'll like this one. It's Morgan Gibbs-White. Had a very good season at Sheffield United. He changed them when Paul Heckingbottom came in, and he got them into the playoffs. They didn't have enough to get back to the Premier League. But this is a key moment for Gibbs-White. He added value to them. Can he add value to Wolves? Can he play in that midfield or a little bit higher up? But if he can, this is a player that can kick on in his career. So I've gone for Morgan Gibbs-White. Anything to add there? Because I know you like this player.
Yeah, I had a look at him pre-season, and he's been playing in the 3, I think, with Pedro Neto. I can't think of the other guy's name. But they've all been scoring goals, including Gibbs-White. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully he takes his chance there, because he's a huge talent. And I'm glad they kept hold of him, to be honest, because too many times you see these youngsters just, go out on loan and then they never quite break into the first team. But I think he's got massive potential. I mean, we saw it in, last season, didn't we? He scored against us, and he was a handful at their place as well. So yeah, I hope he takes it with both hands. It's a huge opportunity for him, and he's a very good talent.
Brilliant. Right, I've gone for Morgan Gibbs-White for Wolves, and the next team is not a very good team. They're only a little trip up the road. They're the noisy neighbours, not noisy neighbours. You've got Southampton.
Stop stirring the pot. Well, this was bloody easy. This one. There's only one player you can really think when you think Saints. It's James Ward-Prowse. So, I mean, 10 goals, 5 assists last season, and I don't know what you'd say about them if they didn't have them. Because I looked at their squad today and I thought, well, they haven't really bought in a lot. I mean, the other one that I think is Livramento, but I think he's got a bit of an injury, or a long-term injury. Yeah, and that's a shame, because I thought he was a good player for them. But you take James Ward-Prowse out of that team, it doesn't excite very much, does it? Great, I mean, everyone knows about these free kicks. Balls from distance without being a dead ball, and he creates opportunities. Great passer of the ball, and he sort of ticks them over nicely, I think. He's almost doing a bit of. I looked at his age. I was quite surprised how old he was today. I think he's like 27 now.
Really?
And he's doing a bit of a Matt Letizia, because he's never been anywhere else. So maybe he's a modern day Matt Letizia, not on the skill level, but how fundamental he is to Southampton. Yeah, I couldn't look any past him at all because he's, take his goals away. There's not a lot there really.
His claim to fame might be taking David Beckham's assists from the Premier League.
Yeah,
there we go.
He's very close to that, I think, now, isn't he?
I think so. Moving on, we're going up to Merseyside, and I've got the first team. I'm not sure what to make of this team, and I think this manager's going to struggle, and that's Everton. I really struggled with this one, Steve. I was looking at the team thinking, I mean, there are some players in there that could do really well. I mean, Calvert-Lewin needs to turn up this season because he very much didn't last season, but I really did have to spend some time on this one. I've gone for a player. It's another young prospect. It's a winger. He sort of stepped up last season to very much help them. Yep. 21 years of age, 35 games, 4 goals, 2 assists. Another player that's going to want to grow as a footballer. Will he stay at Everton? Who knows? Anthony Gordon for me. And as I said, I very much like him. He's very much explosive. Look, he does make mistakes. He does give the ball away at times, but he's giving the ball away, Steve, in areas that doesn't generally hurt. And he's got time to grow. And those decision makings, do them now when you're 21. Don't do them when you're meant to be in your peak and your performance of 28. I do like the player. I'm not sure Everton can keep hold of him, and who knows where Everton will be in this Premier League table. But I felt like I just had to pick him out. And I know that Dwight McNeil's just signed for Everton, another similar player. But Anthony Gordon for me on Everton.
Yeah, I don't know if the McNeil signing is with one eye on the fact that he may leave, but it's a shame because I don't know if he's a local lad. I'm not too sure. I'm not too read up on him. But what I do like about him is he shows loads of passion for a young lad. He just wants to get on the ball and hurt defences, and I like that. But he's also got he's got a good eye for some link up play. He seems to want to run all day for the manager, whoever that is. I really like him. It'd be a killer blow if they did leave him. Well, not a killer blow, but it'd be a big blow to them.
Now, Steve was in London today, and we're going back into London because you've got Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, and the Cronkies are spending money. Maybe they're giving Arteta one more chance, and they've got a very good goalkeeper. Is the goalkeeper the choice? Who are you picking for a player to watch this season for Arsenal?
It would have been nice. I could have picked Rambo, couldn't I? I was a massive fan of Rambo's, and he's done well there. But no, the one I've gone for is Martin Odegaard here.
Captain as well, I think.
He's just about. I've heard he's going to be made captain. I just think he's a lovely player. Very, very good feet. Real Madrid don't generally sign youngsters unless they got a bit about them. And last season, I think he chipped in with 7 goals, 4 assists. I've got written down here. So, he's a playmaker. So, I just think they've got a frightening front. Top half of the pitch evolving there. We've got the likes of Jesus coming, Martinelli, Saka. It's a scary prospect, actually. It's getting, I think they're all young. They're all, really keen. But Odegaard, he just seems to be that bit of flair centrally. I think he's got a good shot on him. He can hit a ball from distance. Lovely little player.
We will see if Arteta can get the best out of that Arsenal squad. But Odegaard for Steve there and Arsenal. I get the other Merseyside team again as well. I don't know how I've worked out with this, but I've got Liverpool, who will be challenging for the league title again. I'm sure of that. Klopp will be fighting hard. He's got talent up top, and it would be easy for me to go for one of their strikers that's probably going to notch 20 goals. But I haven't. I've gone for a fullback, someone who struggles to get in the England side, but he has lots of talent. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold, who played 32 games, 2 goals, 12 assists, Steve. 12
Great for your fantasy football team, he is.
12 assists, mate. Got to go in your fantasy football team. A great player. Plays down that right-hand side with Mohamed Salah. I think it's the best side for them. Yes, they've got Robertson and Diaz that they're likely to have down the left, but I don't understand how, Trent can't get in this England team. I know Kyle Walker's a good defender on his day, but I really like Trent. I think he gives you lots of explosive overlaps. He's got that ping of a right foot, and he's a player to watch again. And again, only 23. So lots of years left in him. And just went for him because I think he's a really good player.
Mad, he's only 23. I think for Liverpool, he's brilliant. I look at him and think, he gets caught out a little bit, but some of his recovery runs are actually, you just don't, they go under the radar a bit. I think he struggled a little bit when it's come to England, and I think that's just because of the competition there. And Gareth's a bit more conservative, isn't he, Kirk?
Yes.
So I think he doesn't suit England as well as he suits Liverpool. I mean, but then again, you look at the players that Liverpool have got. It is a nice little fit, and he's absolutely great player.
Our first newly promoted team to this prediction video, and that's going to be Nottingham Forest. This would have took up some of Steve's time because they've signed about 12 players.
Don't know any of them.
Who are you going for? Because they've spent buckets of money, Steve.
Well, I've gone for someone we know very well. No, I haven't. The guy I've gone for is actually his compatriot in defence is Scott McKenna. I looked at their squad today, and as much as they've got the likes of Lingard, and you could say, well, he could be a difference maker for them. He's unproven. You don't know how he's going to fit into that team. I do think they are going to need. They do like that three at the back, and I think they're going to need to be on their toes. And I think Scott McKenna actually is a very, very underrated centre back. I think he's aerially really good. I think he's one-on-one. I like the way they defend as a three, because they kind of shuffle the strikers in towards the middle, and they sort of converge on them. And he play. He's not one of those ones who rushes into challenges. He sort of gives the striker's got a bit his back to him. He sort of gives him a yard, and then he'll make his challenge instead of just barging into the back of him like a lot of other, giving away silly free kicks. I just think he's a decent, really good, solid centre half, and I think that's going to be fundamental to Forest. I know they've got this attacking options, but ultimately, Premier League's a different kettle of fish with the calibre of forward players you've got up against, and he's still young. He's 25, Scottish international. I just really like him. Me with my defender's hat on again.
That's absolutely fine, and that's part of this video because it's not all about goal scoring. Good pick, and we also did a round table debate with a Nottingham Forest fan recently, and he did speak very well of McKenna. So yeah, good pick. I'm going to the next promoted team. They won the championship last season, Fulham. They're not necessarily buying lots of players, but they are spending money. Now, I've gone for a player who was apparently one of the best training players you've ever seen at Manchester United. But when he turned up and had his opportunity to play in the first team, didn't always turn up. I think he had the odd good performance. Decided to go to Brazil very early in his career. I think he had 2 years in Brazil. Come back aged 26, signed for about £10 million for Fulham. Andreas Pereira, I think. And a player that, again, is technically very, very good. As I said, had some good moments in the Premier League. He's got a good shot on him. Look at the YouTube. Will he turn up for Fulham? Can he help Marco Silva get that Fulham team performing? Can they pick up enough points and enough goals? We will see. I picked him out because obviously Fulham lost a very good player to Liverpool. So is he going to take that spot and help Mitrovic get some goals as well? So gone for Pereira and see if he can actually show the Premier League that he can cut it this time round. Right, back to you, Steve. An interesting side. I think this team will get relegated, and that is Leeds.
You can't go around saying that.
I said
it. Yes, Leeds. I do worry a little bit about Leeds, and it's nothing to do with our silly on Twitter and all the rest of it. They've lost 2 key players, but the one I'm going for, who I think is key to them, is their goalkeeper, actually. I don't know how you pronounce his first name. I think it's Ilie Meslier. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, everyone, but all Leeds fans watching. But I think very young goalkeeper, but I just think I watch him and I think he reminds me of Rambo a bit. He literally just throws himself at everything. He's not the biggest of goalkeepers, but he has this knack of making himself very big, makes some amazing diving saves. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just a gut feeling I get from watching him play. Just think he's a really good talent. Come through the French, played every sort of level at French youth side, but I don't think he's really got into the national squad yet. But there's still time. As I say, he's only 23, and really decent prospect. I mean, he's got 2. Well, what's he got? Yeah, is it 2 seasons under his belt now?
Yeah,
Premier League.
He had a very good first season. I think last season he had a few clangers, but who didn't in that Leeds side?
But like I say, he's learning. He's young, and I think along with I know they've lost. Oh, Christ. Calvin
Phillips,
Phillips. Yeah, Calvin Phillips
Rapinoe.
to Man City. But they've also brought in a replacement from Bayern Munich, who's supposed to be quite good. Decent defensive midfielder. So, you know, there's still some talent in that squad. But yeah, I think he's going to have to be well on his game for them to stand a chance.
He definitely is. They're going down. Right. Next team on the list is a team that's also in a bad way, and that's Manchester United. Under Ten Hag this season, can they keep Ronaldo at the football club? But that's not who I've picked for this season. I'm going to pick this player, Christian Eriksen. What a guy. What a man. How he has turned such a bad moment in his life around to
It's a
be
walking
in a
miracle.
position to be playing for Manchester United less than 2 years later is madness. Look, he came in at Brentford and lifted them. I don't think they were ever in danger of getting relegated, but he played 11 times, 1 goal, 4 assists, but he definitely got them playing again. And do you know what I like about Christian Eriksen is his professionalism when I've seen him play and his attitude. I prefer him to Bruno Fernandes. I don't see Eriksen throwing his toys out the pram. And I tell you what, if Bruno Fernandes doesn't turn up, Christian Eriksen's going to sweep in and take his spot. And I think Fernandes will be sitting on the bench. I really like this for Manchester United. 30 years old. He's going to take this chance. He's going to give it everything. And this could be a big signing for Man United. But I don't think Man United will do anything. I don't think they'll rip up trees, Steve. But this player could shine for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we were looking through the list, I was looking at Brentford and thinking, actually, I wish he was still there because I'd have had him for this. But no, he's like you say, he's a walking miracle. Other guys even playing football, I don't know after what happened, but hats off to him. And he did wonders at Brentford last season. It really sort of changed their season somewhat. They weren't, like you say, they weren't languishing down the bottom, but I think they ended up around about 12th, 13th in the end.
13th.
And he was instrumental to that. Yeah, you're right in what you say about Bruno Fernandes, and it'd be interesting to see how Ten Hag sets up. But he can unlock defensive passes. We've seen it. I mean, the combinations he had with Harry Kane at Tottenham, and if he can get that going with Cristiano Ronaldo, that's a scary prospect. You know, I'm not saying Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be there, but if he is, and they can get some sort of link up going, I mean, wow. One of the most creative players in the world and one of the best finishers in the world. So who knows? But yeah, he's definitely going to keep Bruno Fernandes on his toes. He's got to step up from what he was like last season because he wasn't good enough at times.
Definitely. We're getting closer to AFC Bournemouth, but there is one more team ahead under Eddie Howe. What a rescue job he did. And now he's getting a full season at it at Newcastle. They're spending money. They're going to go for something special you would expect. Eddie Howe, Newcastle.
Well, this is an easy one again, Ryan. No. The player I've gone for here is someone they signed last season, and Eddie did a similar thing like he did with Ryan Fraser, actually, where he didn't, or actually with Jack Wilshere, he didn't sort of introduce him straight away. He got him gradually into the team. Is Bruno Guimaraes, and I really like this guy. I think he's a Christian. When I was speaking about Christian Nørgaard earlier for Brentford, where he sort of gets himself in those positions to intercept the ball, break up the play, and start the attacks. This is what this guy does, but he does it with a bit more flair and Brazilian. Well, what should we call samba magic? Whatever it is, he looks good on the ball. I mean, some of his passing range is excellent. He scores goals. I think he played 17 games or something last season, and he got 5 goals. I mean, that for what looks like a deep lying midfielder is great. I mean, Eddie must be loving that. I mean, yeah, I think who knows what they're going to bring in, because, you know, they've got those coffers at their disposal, but he, for me, was a really good signing, really, really good Eddie signing. That was.
Well, class act from Eddie Howe as well, just to sit on it, release it, and then what a player he was for Newcastle. Spot on there, Steve, with that pick. And there you have it. That's all your teams. No, it's not. We got one left.
Who are that?
Cherries, AFC Bournemouth. And only to be fair, we're both Bournemouth fans, so we're each going to pick a player. We don't know who we've picked, so I've gone for this player. It'd be easy to go for Dom Solanke or someone that's going to set the world alight at the top end, hopefully. But I haven't. I've gone for Mr. Relentless, Lewis Cook. This guy has transformed himself. 25 years old. Steve, I can't believe he's 25 years old. Feels like he's been around forever. But he came into this side when we needed him. He wins the ball in midfield. He starts to play. He battles hard. He looks fitter than ever. He looks like he has no concerns about being injured. This is another spell in the Premier League for Lewis Cook. I think he's going to take it. He's going to keep one of the best midfielders we've ever had at the club out of his preferred position, because Lerma's going to have to play a different position because Lewis Cook is this good. And I've gone for Lewis Cook as a player to watch for Bournemouth this season. I just hope he can stay fit.
Absolutely, mate. And it's a massive shame what's happened to him over the years, because he had such promise. And he's not to say he won't fulfil that promise, because he's still relatively young, like you said. The great thing about Lewis is he's very mature. For his age, he's been there, seen there, done it in terms of all the aspects of football, dealing with those injuries, playing Premier League, getting caps for England. I mean, he could be an absolute gem for us this season. I mean, there's potential there. Leeds fans will know all about him because he came through that youth setup. But when he's on his game and he's at the top level, there's not very many others that are, I think, on a level with him, because I think he's that good. It's just a shame what's happened to him with the injuries. But like you say, he looks fit as a fiddle now, and let's hope he can hit the ground running and steer us in the right direction.
So my pick for Bournemouth is Lewis Cook. I was worried because I know Steve's a big fan of Lewis Cook. Did you also go for Lewis Cook, or have you just gone for someone slightly different?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I did put down Lewis Cook, but I had a backup, so it's fine. and like you said, it would be easy to sort of say Dom, because I think, we're sitting here going, who's going to be key for us? And he will be key for us. But equally, just coming up, and when I spoke about who was it, Forest needing to have be shored up at the back, and Leeds having, equally, I've gone with Travers for us, and obvious reasons really. He's had one hell of a season in the Championship, and that's credit to him, because he could have quite easily lost his head, I think, not in a nasty way, but his confidence, I think, in the season before, where he made a clanger in the first game of the season and was dropped for I can't think of his name now, but our other keeper. Who was our other keeper?
Ireland.
No, last season before.
Begovic,
sorry. How bad's that? Lost his place to Begovic. But he didn't go away and sulk. He kept working hard. He's come back this season. He's had one hell of a season. Golden Glove winner in Championship. And, he's capable of performances like we saw in the Premier League before, when he played against Tottenham that day, where he basically, they could have scored 6 or 7 that day if it wasn't for Travers. So he's got all the attributes of a top keeper. I don't think it'll be long before he's Ireland's number 1 as well. And he will be fundamental to us having any chance this season, quite frankly. If he's not on his game, then we're going to ship a few.
I am happy with those 2 Bournemouth picks, and there are your 21 players for you to watch out for in the Premier League this season. But Steve, this has just proved the point. We had some homework to do. There's going to be some outstanding footballers coming to Dean Court. We're going to want to win some football matches, but it's going to be exciting for the junior Cherries and all us fans that want to see the best footballers on that turf at the Vitality Stadium in the 22-23 season. It's coming very soon.
Yeah, mate, I could have sat here. I could have written about 4 or 5 players for each team on this thing. I mean, honestly, Man City, it's a joke, that squad. I mean, honestly, I could have made a case for half of them. I mean, even if you look at what Newcastle have got, I could have had St. Maximan, Callum Wilson. And they're a mid-table side really, and it's just it is a bit scary, but at the same time, it's exciting. A lot of our fans won't have been through this before. A lot of them will have. So, like you say, for the new ones, it's going to be a harem scarum ride, but one I'm looking forward to.
Please hit the like button on this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Get your thoughts below. Do you like our picks? And obviously tell us your picks. Look, if you don't want to give us 21 or 20, because there's a lot, just tell us your favourite ones, the players you think are the key ones to look out for. Thank you to Aquashine Exteriors for our sponsor of this video, and also thank you to our monthly members. We've had some new members come through, so thank you to you and our existing members. Steve, really enjoyed this video. Lots more content coming, and we're going to enjoy ourselves this season.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, it was great fun. Look, you could have spent hours with this, but we would have bored everyone to death, wouldn't we? with all sorts of stats and stuff about players. But I hope we didn't brush over it too much. But there's some, like you say, it's going to be some exciting, good games to look forward to, and some exciting talent to watch.
Thank you, Steve. Really enjoyed it.
No problem, mate. Anytime.
Get your debates in the comments. Me and Steve will pop in there and we'll read everyone, and we'll add a little comment on there if we want to. But thank you for checking out this video. Hit the like button and we'll see you soon. Up the cherries.
Up the cherries.